Yeah.
Fine, ma'am. Then we'll be carrying with the proceedings. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, should we start? Or should we wait for 2, 3 minutes more?
Dr. Chetna, I think
We should start
we
now,
are
ma'am.
we are
We
good. I think those who have joined early should not pay the tax of waiting for the ones who could not join us this evening. Yes, Dr. Chetna,
yeah,
please.
yeah. Good evening to all the participants. I welcome you all. I, Dr. Chetna, Associate Professor in Department of English, Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, welcomes you all to be the part of this international seminar on World Teachers Day, enjoying the celebration of Teachers' Day, a day which is dedicated in honoring the hearts and the minds that shape our futures and that are our teachers. Today, we gather here not only to express gratitude but also to celebrate the incredible power that educators hold, the power to inspire, the ignition and curiosity, and to awaken the dreams of each learner. Teachers are not only the providers of knowledge, but they are the mentors, role models, and guides to the next generation of thinkers, as the topic itself suggests. We are talking about inspiring the next generation of learners. As we celebrate this Teachers' Day, let us remember that every lesson taught, every encouraging word, and every moment of kindness becomes a part of young learners' story, a story that will shape the future of the world. I give a warm welcome to all enjoying the Teachers' Day, and let us continue to light the path for generations to come. First of all, my sincere thanks to the team ICERT for honoring me to be the part of this event. Now I'll proceed on to the inaugural address by Miss Sonia M. Ferson, Global Educator Influencer, ICERT, who has been generous enough to be the part of this event. Before she delivers her inaugural address, let me not spare a moment even to introduce her. Miss Sonia M. Ferson has dedicated her life to promoting education and innovation in pedagogy. She is a prime ambassador by METI NASCOM, a prestigious program that promotes enthusiastic learners to promote the community around them. Through her career of 3 decades, point certainly needs to be analyzed. Through her career of 3 decades as educationist, she has consistently demonstrated exceptional performance and bagged many awards and certificates to her name, such as a certificate course in Science of Well-being by Yale University, then Global Career Counseling from University of California, Project Management from Google. She has given Outstanding Leadership Award by Global Teaching Excellence. Further, Madam Sonia has won the National Human Resource Optimization Award at the 33rd World Management Conference. She has served as teacher, headmistress, principal. She also assists in setting up schools, SOPs, recruitment, and design curriculum. Ma'am, I welcome you to the part of this international webinar. It's rather an honor, a privilege to listen to such a person with such academic excellence. Thanks, ma'am, to be the part of this event. And we would like to remember that every lesson that you will be teaching to us, every encouraging word that you will be delivering us, and every moment of kindness that will become the part of the story that will shape the future of all the participants. I welcome you, ma'am, to the stage.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chetna. That was quite a lengthy one. I think I'll make my introduction and welcoming a little short now. So, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, uh, Dr. Anahita and Dr. Amila,
Anila.
um, and my fellow educators who have joined from across the globe to be with us to mark the World Teachers' Day seminar. Uh, this day is dedicated in recognizing valuable, invaluable contribution of teachers across the globe. This day commemorates the UNESCO recommendation of 1966, which aimed to improve teacher status and education globally. The theme, Inspiring the Next Generation of Learners, highlights the critical role of teachers playing in shaping future generations. Our seminar brings together experts and educators to share insights and the best practices in teaching and learning. I'd like to extend again a very warm welcome to our keynote speakers, who we will be handing over the mic to them in next couple of moments, who on this platform are going to enlighten and empower us. Dr. Anahita and Dr. Amila, your contributions will undoubtedly enrich our discussion and inspire us to new heights. Never to forget, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to ICERT and Dr. Sandeep, the organizers, my tech team, and my fellow Dr. Chetna to be here this evening in India. Let us use this platform to reaffirm our commitment to quality education and teacher empowerment. Without much ado, we start the program. Over to you, Dr. Chetna.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Sonia Person, for a wonderful introduction part. I would request you, ma'am, to please carry with the inaugural address, not taking much time so that our audience is spellbound. Ji.
Thank you, Dr. Chetna. So, inviting our first keynote speaker, Dr. Anahita Ghanad. Excuse me for my pronunciation and correct me. I'll be more than happy to be corrected. Though Shakespeare said, "What's in a name?" but we get little perturbed if it is not pronounced properly. Uh, Dr. Anahita is assistant professor, head of Master of Education, Veritas University College from our neighborhood, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Welcome, Dr. Anahita. A roaring applause for you. And the stage and the mic is all yours, waiting to be enlightened.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Sonia. Thank you so much. And the pronunciation was perfectly correct. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm grateful to also Professor Dr. Sandeep Kumar for the kind invitation and the chance to contribute to this conference. Let me please share my my desktop is already shared with you, right?
Yes, your first slide is visible. Please go ahead, Dr. Naidoo.
Thank you. It's about empowering the next generation, building students' confidence and resilience. We often ask, how do we make students more confident and resilient? I think a better question is, what kind of university culture, organizational culture, naturally grows confidence and resilience? When the environment is right, growth happens like a greenhouse. Greenhouse when plants don't need shouting to thrive. So empowerment in higher education isn't about louder motivation. I think it's about two capacities that travel beyond graduation. It's about confidence and resilience. We know that confidence is the ability to move difficult work forward, and resilience is the ability to bounce back and try again. So confidence comes from evidence. I mean, students need to see themselves improving. And resilience, I think, comes from practice. And students need repeated, safe chances to find the errors, to adjust and reattempt. These outcomes, I think, are not accidental. They emerge when the culture of our organization or university treats improvement and repair actually as a normal academic work. I mean, visible draft, credited revision, and also respectful feedback. All of them help the next attempt. When we design our program this way, confidence and resilience stop being slogan. They start becoming students' everyday experience. What are we actually building? I think in higher education, confidence isn't a personality trait, or it's not a performance style. It is the grounded belief for students that I can move this kind of task forward because I have done something similar before. I think this belief grows when courses make progress visible. It means that early attempts are kept, later attempts are compared to them, and the improvement is credited. So resilience is not stoicism. It is a practice sequence. Notice what went wrong. Choose a fix, try again, and record what changed. So students matter this sequence when our timetables, when our grading, our supervision make recovery part of the normal workflow, not a personal favor. So if we want empowered graduates, I think our program must create two experiences: evidence of improvement and also practice in recovery. So everything else, facilities, technology, even talent, flows from these two. And how organizational culture enables it? First, through the message, because culture speaks through everyday language, the course outline, our assessment, our feedback notes, our faculty meetings, our website. So when these messages normalize the unfinished work, show draft beside the final pieces, actually treat revision as a scholarship, students stop reading challenges, reading struggle as a failure. They start seeing the challenges as part of the learning. So difficulty at this time become expected phase of the work. So as a result, confidence stabilizes. Why? Because the environment signal that improvement is standard. The next is structure. It means that it's about time, assessment. It means that our calendars, our assessment design, our workload policies, all of them either block the recovery or enable the recovery. When the revision is a required step, and when the timetable make the space for it, the students treat feedback as a part of work. So we keep the same standard, grade, final revision. But the process actually ensure students has a structured chance to reach the bar. So here in this system, behavior shift from submit once to draft, revise, resubmit. So this system expects imperfect first attempt. The first try is never the last. If experimental fails, the redo is already in the calendar. So the road to success include planned cycles. That they learn, the students will learn, they learn from their early result. So in this system, I think resilience grows because the university, the organization has made space for this. And the last is relationship, about belonging and voice. Many institutions say you matter here. It becomes true actually when feedback helps, when recognition is consistent. Belonging is not a slogan. It actually shows up in the quality of our critique, in the way, in what we choose to recognize. So when staff are trained to give feedback, to the specific feedback, respectful feedback, next step feedback, when we recognize contribution and growth, not just rank, at this time, I think students enter earlier, they stay longer, and they keep improving. So in this environment, I think confidence become ethical. Students feel trusted to handle the real tasks. And resilience here become communal. So problems are repaired together, then tried again. So these levels must align. If our messages praise, actually, our messages praise revision, but the calendar leaves no time to revise, students learn the real role. So culture is the default setting, and alignment is what makes that default trustworthy. Let me give you an example. For example, a final year software team build a small application for the campus service. The first release fails, for example, on older device. If we have a performance only culture, the team hide the problem and they just turns in a polished report. But if we have a empowering culture, the module requires a brief change log that note the failure, attempts that fixes, what are the test results and the working solution 2 weeks later. So the final assessment focus on utility with the change log that serve as a evidence, the evidence of improvement, the evidence of learning. So students live with a visible record of problems that solve, not just a grade. So that record actually anchor confidence by work, but by, for example, week 10 or in a first job, they can point to the moment when they move hard work forward under the challenges. So resilience wasn't a personality trait. It was a practice through a scheduled reattempt that is supported by the time and also supported by the supervisors and lecturers and made part of the normal coursework. So here, what is the role of AI? In a compliance frame, AI invites shortcut thinking. In an empowering culture, AI is an infrastructure inside a workflow. You know, students include a short usage note. What tool generated, what they kept, what they changed, and why they changed it. And here, assessment rewards the judgment and iteration, and not tool fluency alone. So this way, AI speed up what we care about. The students get a quick formative feedback and they can make more attempts. So the center stay human, framing the problem, weighing the alternatives, and owning the final choice. So use AI as a support tool inside a clear, accountable workflow. And we need to be transparent that how you use it. So we assess the judgment of the student, the revision, and we need to keep human responsible for the final work. So use AI to accelerate thinking, not replace it. And what leaders and lecturers can align? Actually, first, we make the growth visible by design. It means that we require at least one assignment in each program, where earlier and later work are viewed side by side. And when the rubric explicitly need to credit the improvement. So this single expectation actually convert the private progress into public evidence. And the second schedule is recovery. Build small, predictable windows for the reattempt into our calendars. It means that we just rewrite week, code review days. So we need to do this upfront, not as the expectation. So students internalize that recovery is part of the serious learning. And third is the codify the respectful critic. It means that adopt the brief feedback norms that target their work and specify the next step. Train for it, model it in the meeting, the staff meeting, and also review it when we have a program audit. So when dignity is protected and expectation remain high, so I think here the participation rises and persistent strengthen. And finally, we should ensure that at least one authentic audience per cohort per year. So it's an internal client, a campus unit, or a community partner that we need to have with a short impact note from that partner. So here we are building responsibility, confidence, because the students see their work in use and they experience supported repair when it falls short. The last word, empowerment is predictable outcome of the university that makes improvement visible and recovery outline. And confidence grow when students can point to the record of their progress. And resilience grows when the path from mistake to adjustment to reattempt is built into time and also credits. An organizational culture, university culture, our messages, structures, relationship, all of them either block these experiences or multiplies them. So when these levels align, I think graduates leave with more than knowledge. They carry portable habits, the ability to move forward, and also the courage to start again after a step back. This is how higher education, I think, truly empower the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anahita. I think I was still into the middle of the groove that you created, and I did not want this total enlightenment that we were being deeper diving into to stop so soon. In my years that I have been connected with ICRT as a fellow, as a beginner, I have not seen so many reactions flowing across the screen for you, Dr. Naita. Trust me, this is from one educationist to another educationist. And yes, absolutely, it's still roaring, and we do not want it to stop. And coming to summing up into a crux of what Dr. Amila was wanting to speak, I think her whole conversation was all about resilience. Resilience is all about bouncing back, thriving again, and resilience comes from practice. Please correct me, Miss Doctor, if I am going a little ahead of your thought process. And the second point is make growth visible. I really enjoyed listening to this particular line when we are actually calculating the delta that is calculated from the earlier attempts and the new records which are set, so that the delta that we calculate is visible, we can fix, and that's how we can go forward. The third important point that I got to know from you is culture is default setting. I will go back 20 minutes back when I said that she's our neighbor from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We build in culture, we believe in traditional families, extended families, where the parents, grandparents are staying together and ensuring that those things are passed on to our newer generation. That itself is a teaching and learning happening in a very small society. called family. One more thing that I would like to highlight that Dr. Anahita said is about AI accelerates, where human is the center and human owns choices which are transparent and absolutely great learning. For your information, Dr. Anahita, we are close to 450 ears, 450 eyes, almost 245 people who are right now connected with us, and they have definitely escalated and elevated their learning. A big round of applause to Dr. Anahita for joining us, sharing, and definitely escalating our thought process. Thank you so much, Dr. Anahita.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Sonia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Dr. Chetna.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Amila Gamage, Associate Professor, LIGS, University, Singapore. Madam, Dr. Amila.
Yes, Dr. Chetna, thanks.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. And yes, okay, one thing. I thought my speech is at about 9 p.m. So let me share the screen. So it's 8:30 for me now. Okay. And I also believe that participants can use the chat, is it? Because I try to make it interactive.
We will take the question and answers probably in the later part of our seminar. And definitely we are very, very well placed when it comes to time. Yes, you are right. You were supposed to start about 30 minutes later. If you are not comfortable, we can open the house for questions. If you are comfortable, we will take your...
Now.
Wonderful, great. We look forward to your convenience. Please go ahead.
Just want to let you know that I would like, when I ask some questions, if the participants can use the chat. Is it the chat facility is given, is it? The typing?
It is active. I think we can request our tech team. It is active. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So let me share my screen. Give me a moment. Okay, you can see, right?
Your screen is visible. Please go ahead, Dr. Amila.
Okay. Okay, so thanks everyone, and also for the organizers. I especially want to thank Professor Sandeep for inviting me, and also Ms. Sonia and also Dr. Chetana, everyone. Thanks everyone. So I'm truly honored to be here today to celebrate World Teachers Day with all of you. And yes, my keynote is focusing on empowering educators to inspire the next generation, and also how to motivate learners, nurturing curiosity and building resilience. Okay, so about me, I'm assistant professor and associate professor in two universities, Leeds University and also Signum Magnum College, Malta. And beyond that, I'm an adult educator, certified trainer in Singapore. So mostly my focus is about adult learners. So how to motivate them. So this is how I'm going to talk today. Okay, so before we begin, I also want you to introduce yourself. Please use your name and where is your country? Where are you based on? If you are an educator, then one word that inspired you to become an educator. So this is my question to you. Please use chat to, to introduce yourself in few words. Let's see. Yeah, everyone, please participate. Okay, so I can see, yes, Sonia is from India, is it? Yeah, okay, glad to know. Anyway, so while the replies come in, I will move. Yes, Dr. Chetana is from Jammu, India, yes. Okay, so let the replies come in and I will move forward. And today we are talking about why we need to inspire the educators, why this topic matters. Okay, why? We already know the global challenges. There are global challenges that demand adaptable learners. Education has always been important, but today it matters more than ever. Learners must be adaptable to navigate rapid technological, social, and also environmental changes. As educators, we are also more than knowledge providers. We are also role models and catalysts for transformation. Through our work, we can shape learners who contribute to sustainability, equity, and also peace. This is why what we do matters deeply, not just for individual students, but for the future of the society. And then, who are the next generation of learners? What's your idea? What do you think? Who are the next generation of learners? I believe you can use the chat and share what is your idea about the next generation of learners. How do you identify them? See your responses. Yes, okay. Yeah, you can see my... Okay, next generation is tech savvy. Others, how about you? Yeah, if you can, please use the chat. Otherwise,
I
I will...
request everyone to please be interactive. Dr. Amila has her own style of presentation. We are almost 250 participants here.
Yeah.
If everyone writes about a line, I think
It will
it
take
will
some
really
time.
add a lot of motivational value to Dr. Amila.
Although it is a keynote speech, I like you also join with me. Yeah. Okay, you can
I
use
see
the
the
chat.
hands up. You could please put your thoughts and opinions into the chat box, please.
Yeah. Instead of speaking, I
I'm
think we
sure
can faster continue.
I think our tech
Yeah.
team is
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. If two people can chat, so can others, I'm sure. Dr. Chetna, could you please check up with our tech team if everyone is fine to chat?
Yes,
Yeah, they could
yes,
just
ma'am. The chat is open for all. It is
great.
open for
Thank you so
all.
much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, great. Reactions are coming. Can we have some text in the chat box, please?
Anyway, I will continue. Yeah. I have some issue here. Give me a minute. Huh? Yeah. Sorry, some tech issue with me. Give me a minute. Huh?
No worries. I'm looking at the chat box, which is overflowing now. Yes, probably there were
Okay.
some technical issues from our end too.
Yeah,
Excuse
okay.
us for that.
So,
It's
yeah, it's
open, it's
okay
all
that I can
overflowing.
see the chat. Yeah. But you cannot see my screen, right? Yeah. So I will share again. Okay, something happened.
Aniket Mandal, I think I now understand why your hand was up. Now you can text in here. Yeah, you could put your hand down now. Creator. Wonderful. Dr. Amila, we can see your
Yeah.
screen
Okay.
coming
Fine.
up now. Yeah.
Now can see my screen, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. We are back onto the first slide.
Okay. Yeah, give me a moment. Sorry about the interruption. Yeah. Okay. So we were here. Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
I can see, yes, the chat also working. Yeah. So they are like achieving academic excellence and career milestones. Yes. One word is like creator. Yeah. The okay. The new generation needs social media, tech savvy. Yes. So we can see who are the next generation of learners. All of you know that. Yes. Thanks everyone for participating. Next, we already know that when we say next generation of learners, we know they are digital natives, not like me sometimes, and highly connected, value collaboration and also diversity. They prefer experiential active learning. But remember, they are with shorter attention spans and they also prefer engagement. They are socially aware, they know what is sustainability, what are the ethics, and also inclusivity is matter. And they also expect personalization and autonomy. These are some characteristics of the next generation of learners. Therefore, it's clear that education systems must evolve to meet their needs. This is where global frameworks come in. UNESCO's Education 2030 Agenda, for example. This gives us a shared vision for inclusive, equitable, and lifelong learning. These are the values that perfectly align with what this new generation expects. Also, these frameworks, they emphasize lifelong learning and also directly support the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We know it is SDG 4. Here you can see the SDG 4 say ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And now, to translate these global goals into classroom practice, we can use some structured models like Bloom's taxonomy. Here, even though it is a keynote speech, I like to introduce or highlight these frameworks. These are very valuable. Some of you I know here, most of you, you may already know this framework, but let me walk you through these 6 levels with practical examples for teaching, which you can make the sessions interactive and more powerful. Remember, students, uh, their learning spans also in future learners, the limited. So we have to focus on their requirements. Here there are 6 levels starting from remember. There what they do, the students, they recall facts and also the basic concepts. For example, they like to list down all the steps in scientific methods, or they can recall like their vocabulary or like that. Then only they go to the next step, understand. After that, apply. Learners use the knowledge in their new situations. For example, solving a problem. And then analyze the next step. Students also break their information into different parts to explore relationships. Then we go to the step 5, evaluate. Now, the learner who started from remembering, then go to understand and apply and analyze. Now they evaluate. They justify a decision or they assess some outcomes critically. For example, they know how to critique a research article or evaluate the effectiveness of a project. And the next step, last step is create. Finally, now students know how to produce their own original work. They know how to integrate their knowledge. So these are the steps that we can follow in our learning plans or course outlines to make it more effective, especially when you focus the future learners. And for that, I will share few frameworks. So here first I talk about the Bloom's taxonomy, and now Another framework is Gagne's 9 events of instruction. Here there are 9 steps, but when we follow these 9 events of instruction, it guides us on how we can design the learning process to get the outcome. I already believe that many of you already know or familiar with this model, but let me briefly walk you through this Gagne's 9 events of instruction. This is a structured roadmap for effective teaching. The first thing, gain attention. Start with something that captures interest. For example, today, before I start this speech, I ask you to introduce yourself. Use the chat, and I also just spoke with some of you. So, these are some examples. Capture the interest, gain attention. Then you can go to the next step. Step 2, inform the learners of objectives. Clearly state what learners will gain from this session. So they understand the purpose. Yeah, then they know they should listen to the session or the lecture. The next step is stimulate recall of prior knowledge. Connect new content to what learners already know. For that, what we can do, ask reflective questions or some quick chat responses. Remember, I asked you, what is your opinion about the future learners? That is one example. Then, after that, you can present the content. Step 4, deliver your main materials and explain all these formulas, whatever the things that you have to share. And then provide the guidance. Step 5, there you can offer tips, strategies, or how scaffolding to help these learners to understand and apply the content. And step 6 is elicit performance. Encourage all these learners to practice or demonstrate their understanding. It can also be like briefly through chat if it is an online class, or discussion or case activities if it is like in a physical classroom. And then step 7 is provide feedback. You have to, as educator or teacher, you have to provide constructive feedback on their responses or their performance to reinforce learning. And then step 8 is assess performance. You have to check if learning objectives have been met through reflective questions, polls, or some small exercises. And also enhance retention and transfer. This is the last step. Have to summarize all the key points and encourage learners to apply what they have learned. That is the last step according to Gagne's 9 events. When you follow these 9 steps, we create sessions that are structured, engaging, and also memorable. It ensures that learners not only understand, but also they can apply knowledge effectively. So although there are 9 steps, I just want to mention that using this Gagne's 9 events, we can easily plan structured learning sessions for our students to effectively learn any topic. And now, I just want to summarize. We learned about UNESCO, their framework, and then Bloom's taxonomy, and also Gagne's 9 events, the instructional design. So all these things help to design effective sessions or to find out learning outcomes of our students or even adult learners. And we already know now there are traditional methods like demonstration, discussion, brainstorm, all these. These traditional methods still remain powerful when we applied well. Demonstrations provide clarity. Discussions also allow us to critically think, and role plays build empathy and also real world application. So these are some methods that we can use in our instructional methods. And what else? We also need to know how to engage learners through active learning. Now we are talking about future learners, not only future learners, even today learners. They want to be active in their learning activities. They need to be interactive. Their attention span also short. So for that, what we can do? Active learning also shifts learners from passive recipients to active participants. Strategies like jigsaw puzzles, learning or discussions, sometimes chalk talk, group studies, all these things can make learning interactive, collaborate, and finally, it can be memorable. And don't forget that there are different learning styles. Visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic, and also reading, writing learner. I know most of you already know, but I want to remind all of you the WARC framework. These are the 4 types of learning styles. Therefore, we need to understand this fact. Learners absorb knowledge differently. Therefore, we need to vary our methods like visuals, discussions, hands-on activities. Using different methods, we can reach wider range of learners. All these 4 learners are here even. So we have to focus all these 4 categories, then everyone happy. So finally, we can make our learning more inclusive. Everyone is there, right? So for the visual learners, for example, colorful slides in this case, because it is online, even if it is physical, we can use similar methods. And also for auditory learners, the sharing, reading and all these things, kinesthetic learners, they want to be active. So the case discussions, questions, answers, everything. And for the reading, writing style, the same method like writing answers or notes taking and all these. So we need to focus on all these 4 styles of learners. Then they will be happily engaged in the classroom. And the next step, we need to motivate the learners. Remember, motivation is the engine that drives the learning. And learners who are motivated, they engage more deeply. They persist through challenges and also develop curiosity and resilience. One of the most effective ways to understand this motivation is through self-determination theory. We also call SDT. Now, don't say that I'm today sharing a lot of theories and frameworks in this keynote speech, but I thought it's good to remind all of you that there are frameworks that we can use to plan our classroom's lesson plans. This SDT theory highlights 3 key elements: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Autonomy, what is it? Give learners choice, like selecting project topic to foster their ownership. Sometimes, like if it is younger learners, maybe not. I'm not very sure about whether it is practical or not. But because I'm always dealing with adult learners, this is very easier because they are always motivated and they comes up with very innovative topics sometimes. So always it's important to motivate them. And competence. Build confidence through practice guidance or some, like, for example, mini role plays. So they gain confidence. And relatedness. Always encourage peer collaboration, like through group activities or sharing. These activities create connection. And finally, it motivates the learners. And now again, I have a quick question. Here you can see 2 types of learners. So I'm not going to ask the type of you. So I'm going to ask, if you are an educator, which type of students do you like to see in your classroom? Is it A or B? Please use the chat again. Would you like A or would you like B in your classroom? Okay, I can see most of you say A. Yes, we like to see A, right? Then when our classroom or our lecture room is happy and motivated and excited, then we are also excited, right? We have that energy. Then as educators, we can teach more. We are motivated as well, not only our students, right? Okay, thanks everyone for participating. I can see almost all of you say A. Yes. So this simple choice highlight the importance of motivation and also curiosity and engagement in the learning. That's why curiosity, that is the fuel of discovery and deep learning. We can use different approaches like inquiry-based or project-based learning. Those encourage learners to ask questions, explore, and connect ideas across disciplines. As we saw in the previous activity, these engaged learners, they thrive when curiosity is sparked. Our role as educators is to create experiences that nurture the curiosity. Therefore, we need to know how to turn the engagement into exploration. That is one responsibility of educators. And for that, there are certain methods, but also we need to know, together with curiosity, we also need to build resilient learners. How to build resilient learners? For that, I again want to share another concept, that is growth and fixed mindset. This was introduced by psychologist Carol Dweck in her 2006 book, Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. She introduced what is growth mindset. Growth mindset is always view challenges as opportunities, and they embrace constructive feedback, and they learn and grows from failures. Remember that there are certain, if it is fixed mindset, they don't learn from failures. Instead, they will fail and fail and fail. But those with growth mindset, they will learn and grow from failures. So they believe in skills in development. Therefore, as educators, it's our responsibility to build resilient learners. That also remember, through your lessons or the teaching, we have to build up those students with growth mindset. And finally, how we can align Ganne's model with active learning strategies. Here you can say first we can gain attention like asking quick question, poll, or like some visual role play, even a video. You can share it and ask a question and can gain attention. The secondly, stimulate, recall what they actually know, what is the topic relevant discussions, brainstorm, and then present your ideas or your content demonstration. Fourthly, elicit performance. Ask them to involve in a case study discussion or some activity, the lesson-based activities. And finally, it's important to provide feedback. That can be by the educator and also by peer review. So these are methods. I actually, personally, I like this Gannis framework because it can help us to turn a theoretical framework into practical classroom activities. And finally, we can keep our learners engaged. And let me share one case study or the research done recently on Ganne's 9 events in economic education, this one, but we can apply overall in our teaching methods. Here, this one done by Rahman SMA on application of constructivism. The context is like second year economics student. They focus on economic students at Mapu Government Mahila College in Bangladesh. What they did, they used lessons plans that were designs integrating Ganne 9 events, and they incorporate constructivist approaches and formative assessments. Finally, what was the result? The student, you can find this research you can easily find using Google Scholar. You will find out this study observed significant improvement in student engagement and also learning outcome. And they conclude that applying Ganne's framework combined with constructivist strategies and formative assessments can enhance student learning in economics education. But with my experience, I know in adult education, especially, we can enhance engagement and interaction. I hope you will also, if you don't follow, if you you can also follow this and find out is there any differences in interaction and learning and finally retention. Because in this topic, we are talking about future learners while celebrating the Teachers' Day. So here, these are some photographs from my workshops that these are some of the methods that I use to make the classes interactive. And my topics are mostly contract management, facility management, project management, lot of technical details, but we use some simple methods to create the classrooms active and collaboration. We improve collaboration and finally to improve the confidence among learners. So these are some examples because it suits our topic. And also, again chat question. Now, don't blame me that I'm asking a lot of questions. But type 1 active learning strategy you have used or you would like to try in your class or training sessions. Yes, you can use the chat again. Discussion. Yes, I can see discussion. What else? Case studies. Yes. Yeah, case studies are my favorite as well because it can easily share the knowledge with some. Yeah, jigsaw puzzle, very interesting. Role play, brainstorming. Yeah, I can see a lot of ideas are coming from. Yes, thanks everyone for participating in this storytelling. Yes, very good. Can create the classroom very active. All these are different strategies. We can use all these different techniques immediately. And yeah, we are talking about future learners. We can easily motivate them, easily interact with them with these activities. And finally, don't forget the technology. Now, even today, we are connected with all of you from different countries because of this technology. So, in our teaching also, we can use technology. How to leverage tech tools? Remember, technology is not a replacement. It's a catalyst for learning. We can use like blended learning, even it is a physical classroom, but we can use blended learning methods, online instructions, all these online collaborations. And finally, there are AI-powered personalization tools. All these methods we can use to enhance learning, interaction, and finally retention. But with all these new tools, all these methods, there is also ethical responsibilities. We also remember we have to avoid bias in different methods and technologies. We need to ensure inclusivity and also fairness while being mindful for possible biases in our practices or technologies. Therefore, it's very important to focus on ethics in education as educators. And finally, not finally, actually, before these are like few final slides. Remember, the teacher is no longer just a knowledge provider. Instead, we are facilitators. We need to guide learning journeys, mentoring, and empowering students to become independent learners. So, we are not just sharing our slides or our methods of teaching the content. We need to be facilitators. It needs to be two-way, not one way. So, remember those things. And by combining motivation, curiosity, and also resilience, and also using all these frameworks, there are many other frameworks and also strategies, we can empower educators to inspire learners who are ready for lifelong success. And before we wrap up, I also love for you to take a moment to reflect. Think about one key insight or takeaway from today's session. It can be something that you can actually use in your teaching or to motivate future learners. Please use the chat and share one thing that you learned through this speech. I'm happy to read that again. Please use chat again. Yeah, I would like to adopt blended learning, yes, discussion. Okay, so please share one thing that you learned today. Yeah, facilitator, use of active learning tools in every class. Okay, yes. So I can see different virtual presentation comes with is during learning. Okay, technology, active learning, refreshed. Okay, so I can see different things that you have learned today. I'm very happy. The gun in 9 steps. Okay, I'm very happy to see that. Yeah, to make my class more active than passive, motivating the learners. Okay, collaboration, many things. Huh? Thanks everyone for participating in all these questions. And now, finally, what is our responsibility as educators? This is a gentle reminder to all of you that while frameworks and strategies guide us, the real impact comes from our dedication. Remember that. And our creativity and commitment. We are educators and we need to be dedicated, creative, and also committed to our learners. Every action we take shapes the next generation of learners. And remember, we also need to commit to being lifelong learners ourselves. We need to use evidence-based methods and we should inspire students, not just academically, but also remember they are future citizens and leaders. So as educators, we have our responsibility. We also need to update or upgrade with the new technologies. Nowadays, there are AI tools. We can use all these. We need to know how to use all of these and how we can use that for our classrooms. And finally, thank you all for your attention and also engagement throughout this session. More than it is, although it is a keynote speech, I think I shared few frameworks and theories as well. Sorry about that, but I just wanted to share on this Teachers' Day. So I also truly appreciate this opportunity, share the ideas with all of you. Thanks all the organizers and also for inviting me. And finally, if you noticed, I planned this through Ganne's 9 events of instruction. All the 9 events are in this speech. So finally, thanks everyone. So I will stop sharing here. Yes, okay. Yeah,
Thank you
thank you.
so much, Dr. Amila. And
Yeah.
definitely, I think we have a number of key takeaways. Thank you for making my work easier. Rather, that is what my job is as a chief patron, to just assimilate and give the essence of the keynote speakers. Dr. Amila from our neighborhood in
Yeah.
Singapore. Uh,
Yeah.
shared with us that the shaping of learners, we can only shape them if they are adaptable or they have a very open mindset, a very growth indicative mindset. Then Dr. Amila did mention about inclusivity. For everyone's information, when we talk about SDG 4, it is also inclusive in Indian NEP 2020, and we are also practicing it. And that's how I call it neighborhood. Uh,
Yeah.
Dr. Amila did mention about the 9 events of instruction, taking us to the American educational psychologist Robert Gaine. A little sneak peek into him, that he was American and born in Massachusetts, and he was best known for his work on conditions of learning, where a lot of references of Dr. Amila, apparently she was motivated and inspired with his way of uh, work. Uh, Going forward, Dr. Amila spoke about the group inquiry and studying in groups. I think with the new generation, isolation will could be fatal. If it is collaborative, it is much enhanced. And when I say it, I'm talking about understanding and taking their knowledge forward. Uh, Next, thank you so much for taking us through again through work and Bloom's taxonomy. I think I went almost 3 decades back into my B.Ed when Bloom's taxonomy was drilled and ingrained into us, that this is how we're going to make the question paper. And you are into adult teaching, and I'm sure you are still taking help of Bloom's taxonomy. I think everyone enjoyed that little part. Definitely, we all are into lifelong learning. and we all need to be responsible educators. Thank you so much, Dr. Amila, for joining us this evening. It may be afternoon there, and I think we have some participants from Canada. We are almost close to 300 participants today. I think ICRT always does a humongous job of bringing the educators and the essence in such a way that we all enjoy the seminar, the webinar, the thought, the idea of having all the educators together on this platform. I think it's kudos to you, Dr. Sandeep. And thank you so much to the keynote speakers this evening from India. Over to you, Dr. Chetna, for the vote of thanks.
Okay, thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sonia, for wonderful event managing. I'll give my thanks to Dr. Amila, the keynote address speaker, Dr. Anaita Ganad, the keynote speaker. It was, in fact, a wonderful evening, and the complete audience was spellbound. On this special occasion, I have been given an honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. In fact, we don't want to end the webinar, in fact, the seminar, because we are so much engrossed and so much being focused upon how should we inspire the youth, because they are our main source.
Dr. Chetna, since I am aligned with you about we don't want to end it, let's have the house open for the question and answers, and then we will take forward the vote of thanks. Dr. Amila and Dr. Anahita are there. The house is open for questions. Please post your question in the chat box, and we will try to the best of our potential to answer them. Dr. Amila and Dr. Anahita, please be with us. Yes, we can see a lot of thanks pouring in. We would like to have some opinions, some thoughts, some takeaways that you would like to share. Absolutely, it's heartening. Thank you so much, Dr. Jizoba. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew, for kind words. Thank you, Miss Aarti. Thank you, Christiana. Thank you, Dhanalakshmi. Right, but we are open to question and answers. Let's have some brainstorming session here now. I have a question from Mr. Ibrahim. In a situation where a student is having difficulty in assimilating, what can I do? The question is open. Anyone would like to take it, either Dr. Amila or Dr. Anhaita? It's a great question. In a situation where a student is having difficulty in assimilating, what can I do? Apparently, it's a challenging situation to Ibrahim here connecting with us on this platform. Dr. Amila or Dr. Anhaita, would you like to take it forward? Anyone or both of you, both are welcome. Could we have your screen on and unmute your mic, please?
Okay, I like to share, but pardon me because I don't have experience with younger students. Always I work with like my students are adults. So what I do is always I ask them to talk sometimes. Even if they feel bad, or even if they I mean, not only here, not maybe not directly to the question, but whatever the mood they are, I allow them to speak. So they will share their ideas, their experiences, and also sometimes their experiences and ideas help others to learn. In that way, I can manage in both way, positive, negative, both outcomes. I can manage in that way, asking them to speak. So this is my experience as an adult educator. But sorry, I don't have experience with younger, I mean, students.
Dr. Amila, it works everywhere, whether it is a young mind or an adult mind, or even between two leaders across the globe. I think sitting and talking works out most of the problems. We have one more question. I think it's addressed to you, Dr. Amila. Please take this up. It says, what is the difference between lesson and those 9 steps by Dr. Mary Oire? I'll repeat the question. What is the difference between lesson and those 9 steps?
Lesson, that means content, right? Yeah. So we share, even today, you can see this session. In this speech, I shared few frameworks. But this sharing these frameworks can be my lesson. But instead of simply sharing these frameworks, I combine those with some questions. If it is a physical classroom, I could have discussed some case studies and ask the participants or my students to do some case study discussions and come up with new ideas. But basically, it is a lesson. So the content is in middle, but it is covered with some interactive activities. So this is what I believe as lesson and content delivery through these Ganne 9 events.
Thank you, Dr. Amila. We have one more question. It is from Tawfiq Gabedianka. And how can all this apply for some of my students who is having some disability or the other, such as hearing impaired, visually impaired, or with learning disabilities?
Okay. Sorry if I'm not very focused on this question, but in group activities where everyone work together, then we can, because in groups we know each other helps. So we can focus on questions that is everyone can answer, everyone can share ideas. So the first thing I do is group activities. The second thing I do is I go to each and every student and ask their ideas. Even if they share some ideas that is not suitable or not matching with the topic, I allow them to share and I listen to that and I encourage. So in that way, I think I can make the class inclusive. So yeah, that is my idea.
Thank you so much for answering. I'll take up one more question, though we have quite a bit here. Clement Laikin has asked on the issue of group learning, how do we address the challenge of passive and non-participating students when we take the case of group assignment, for example? So I think he's talking about the I think collaborative learning when we teach in a group and we have certain students who are just distracted or not so vocal as the others, so they are subdued. So what is your take
I
on
have
that?
this experience as well. In some groups, I can see always the same one participant do all these things. Others are just chatting and talking around and all this. So I can see that if I see this in the first activity, the next activity I ask, okay, you have to change the speaker. Next time, not you, the next person have to present. And like that, rotate the presenter. So that is one method. And sometimes there are disruptors in the class. So in that way, times also we have to focus on that person and ask questions. Then he will be slowly silent and allow others to talk. And like that, we have to use these different methods to make the class inclusive and turn around the responsibilities so everything change. And with group activities, we also have to change individual activities. So one is group activity, the second can be individually. So we talk with everyone. Regarding assignments, that I know in group assignments, sometimes they don't participate, but try to make some grading system. So everyone have to show their participation. So these are some of the strategies. Yes, yeah, these are the things
I
that
think, Dr. Amila, you already answered the next question, which was lined up from Dr. M.K. Jain from Gurugram, India. And his question being, how can slow learners be motivated for better learning? I think this is also when you have a role play or when you have collaborative learning and suddenly you flip it to individual speaker. Maybe they just recall what is learned in the previous activity itself gives them a platform. Okay, right now I'm the hero, and if I don't speak, then probably sometimes due to peer pressure it works well for certain students. I think, Dr. MK Jain, your question is also in the bargain answered. Right. So we have one more question from Saibu. How can teacher leverage on technologies to cater for diverse needs of learners during the classroom session at a lower primary level?
Okay, low primary level. Sorry, I'm not very sure
I
about
will
that.
I will
Yeah.
take it forward if you don't mind. I would like
Yeah.
to interrupt here since I started
Mm.
as a middle school science teacher
Uh,
as my
mm.
career. So I will go back to your point as work.
Uh,
Whether it is visual, whether it is audio or kinesthetic, we need to understand the child's psychology, and that's how we understand the child will strengthen the grasping power with this particular trajectory. And
mm.
then we make sure that that trajectory is weaned off and the whole class comes to a common trajectory of delivery of lecture and understanding the words. So diverse needs, yes, the whole class of 30, 35, as we have in India, may not have the same kind of potential to grasp.
Mm.
But understanding individual needs, if we put a little effort from our end, we see a lot of engagement happening from the other end.
Mm.
Don't worry, Dr. Amila, I will take you to the adult education only. Few things here and there, I'll take it forward. I hope,
Mm.
Dr. Saibu, it
Thank
is
you.
answered to the best of your uh, uh, things that you were wanting to understand.
Yeah, thanks, Miss Sonia.
One more question. We still have a little time, and I don't want to end the session. Dr. Chetna, hold on to your vote of thanks for a little more time. Um,
No probs, no probs, ma'am.
Okay.
it is a wonderful question from Olufemi Ishola. And the question says, teaching goes beyond classroom. How can we improve our relationships with students beyond the class without crossing educational ethical boundaries? I think it's a very well worded question. Even I would love to hear it from you, Dr. Amila.
Yeah, the beyond the classroom, yeah, like we can continue because sometimes they have questions during the classroom. We share some content only, but they have questions. They ask how to do this, maybe related to case studies. What are the questions related that we can continue conversation? Actually, I do that. I have this relationship throughout, and we can continue learning and sharing all these related new technological tools or some knowledge, and like that we can continue our relationship. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Amila. I think you are answering all the questions. I'll just take up one or two more, not to bother you much.
It's okay.
Uh, how can I apply from Suleiman Shehu Usman? The gentleman wants to know how can I apply work framework to a class of 100 students? Probably that's a challenge this gentleman is
Yeah.
facing in
Okay,
his
this is the example like
demography.
us short questions. Here there are like 200, nearly 300, right? Yeah. So sometimes we can ask raise hand, yes or no. All these can create interaction. So plan accordingly, like you know the audience, so you can plan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can break up the 100 students into the group activity and then micromanage to an extent to understand the potential of every child. Once we understand the cognitive skills of every
Mm.
child, then going back again into individual, then the 100 students do not appear to be 100 students.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you need to take maybe a baby step initially,
Mm.
applying work as a generic may not be a very good idea initially when you
Yeah.
have that kind of a classroom setup.
Mm.
Suleiman, I hope you are fine with breaking up your 100 into a group of 10,
10,
10,
yeah.
10, 10
10 times
each,
10, right?
and then
Yeah.
yes, and then managing those 10 would be
Mm.
easier, and understanding their strengths and weaknesses would be very easy for you.
Mm.
And then I'm sure you are experienced enough to take it forward from there. uh,
Mm.
I'll take up the last question for the evening, and this is by Dr. Obedin Ezekiel from Nigeria. There are two questions. Uh, when should the technology integration be exposed to learners in the next gen of learners at primary, secondary, or tertiary? This is the first question. Dr. Mila, you answered this, then I'll pose the next question to you.
Yeah. So primary education, like, okay, in Singapore, I know that they use tabs and all this already. So during the classrooms, even in primary classes, other than that, can use like the online tools. Like there are certain tools, right? I cannot remember the names now, like Kahoot or all these. There are tools, right? And those tools can use to improve their technological integration and all these things. Yeah, so that is my I just sorry about
I
that.
think
Uh,
around the COVID time when we were all brought into in front of the blue screens
mm,
for engagement with the school, I
whiteboard
think the
and yeah,
Kahoot, Padlet, quizzes,
Padlet. Yes.
and I think we used all this at basic level, at a primary level,
Yeah.
and then definitely the delivery level, the delivery of lecture for the senior level.
Mm,
I think uh, the new generation is very well versed with tech. You can
yeah.
only connect
Ask
with them
only.
through tech.
Yes.
You have to be tech savvy to connect with them, else they are not going to be good listeners. They, in
Yes.
their mind, they have already resigned with you. They will not be able to connect with you. I think we should not bother
Uh,
Dr. Amila anymore. We
Yeah,
have good number of
I want
questions.
to share one thing that I have used Google Classroom. That is also very engaging because it's like chat, but the answer will be remaining, right? They can refer later as well. Yeah, so Google Classroom, that is also a good tool to use for the
I think
young
across
child.
India, there were two platforms available when COVID hit. It was MS Classrooms and the Google Classrooms.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
whatever pertained to a particular organization, they took onto that platform and they
Mm,
had their learning going on despite the disruption at that time.
yeah.
I think we will call it. I have not answered all the questions. Dr. Amila has not answered every question. Thank you
Yeah.
for being patient. And if you were with the fastest finger first, we have taken up your question. Thank you so much, Dr. Amila. Over to you, Dr. Chetna.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sonia, for the wonderful session and the wonderful management between the audience and the question answer session part. Thank you, ma'am. I take an opportunity to thank all. Good evening. On this special occasion of Teachers' Day, it's my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. First and the foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the respected teachers who are the true architects of society. As today we celebrate our unwavering dedication, it is also a reminder to the powerful role you play in shaping not just mind but futures of the society. I would like to thank Dr. Sandeep Kumar for his kind invitation to this international seminar. Further, my thanks are due to the chief patron of the webinar, Ms. Sonia M. Ferson, Global Educator Influencer ICRT Fellow, for taking up the wonderful inaugural address. I would like to thank to Dr. Anahita, the keynote speaker who talked about the true architects of the society, how to grow confidence and how to develop resilience, how she has wonderfully explained to make growth visible and recovery routine. Thank you, ma'am, for reminding us that education is not just about textbook and exams, but it is about values, courage, creativity, and building character. She focused that we should use artificial intelligence to accelerate thinking, but now in a society, not to replace it. My due thanks to the second keynote speaker, Dr. Amila, Associate Professor, University of Singapore, who gave a wonderful deliberation on various technologies, motivating learners, nurturing curiosity, and building resilience. Who are the next generation of learners was her key point, pivotal focus on digital natives, highly connected UNESCO 2030 agenda, and providing quality education, lifelong learning, and various SDGs. She talked about Bloom's taxonomy and made ourselves focused with how to remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Dr. Amila further focused on Ghane's 9 events of instruction, giving focus on attention, how to inform the learners, stimulating their recalls, present the content, provide guidance, and elicit performance, providing feedback, assessing performance, and enhancing retention. She further focused how to engage learners through active learning and a role of teacher as a facilitator, guide, coach. Our responsibility as educators committed with guidance and lifelong learners. My special thanks to the people present here who have shared their insights and inspiring words. Your stories, your experiences, and your messages have ignited the spark, especially the youth who are present here. Ma'am, you reminded us that education is in collaboration with all. I would like to give thanks to our teachers for believing in us even when we don't think to believe in ourselves own. Your guidance has laid the guidance and foundation on which we all built our dreams. A sincere thanks to the organizing committee, student volunteers, and everyone who worked behind the scene to make today's celebration memorable. At the close, let us not just celebrate Teachers' Day, but every day by living the values they teach us and becoming the change they hope to see in the world. Thank you once again and happy Teachers' Day to all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chetna, for wonderful. It was not a regular run-of-the-mill vote of thanks. It was definitely inspiring. And I thank you for joining us this evening from
Thank
my
you, ma'am.
end. On behalf of ICRT, I thank you for being here with me and co-host the show. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
everyone. Namaste from
Thank
India.
you.
Good evening, good
Thank
afternoon,
you,
good morning,
Chetna.
wherever you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone, to be the
Thank
part
you
of
very
this.
much.